Lucas, thanks for talking. Obviously, it was a tough outcome at home this past weekend, but how much do you guys take away from that? I know Renee was in here talking about just how he had a conversation with you guys, and hopefully you guys can bounce back. But what do you guys as players take away from that match as you get ready to take on another team that's been scoring a lot of goals lately?
Yeah, I mean, to change a culture, to change where we came from, takes time. And I think we saw last game that we still have some things we have to adjust with. It's better than it was, for sure. We have more guys bought in all the time. But obviously, we have some things that we have to adjust. And yeah, it was hard to play in that game. Dallas did a really good job. They were combative. They won duels. We weren't up for the match, and it's just not acceptable at home. So, we go on the road now against a good team. They're really good at home. They've shown that they score goals. So, it's going to take a whole team effort, all 11 guys, including guys off the bench. So, yeah, we got to be up for it.
How do you not let one match take away from? I mean, you guys have had a better start than in past years. How do you guys not let the one match kind of, dictate how this season could be?
Yeah, I mean, we do want to have a short term memory. Like last season was something that we went through a lot as individuals, as a team, as a organization, and it's not where we want to be, and we say it's not acceptable. So if that's what we say and that's what we stand for, then we got to show a reaction. How you respond in life is exactly, I think is what shapes up to make who you are, and that's what we're going to do this weekend. So.
Next, we'll go to Vikas.
Hey, Lucas. So this year, you've been captaining the team, I think, every game. Can you talk just on an individual level what that's felt like, or do you feel differently about your role in the team this year or past years? Just what has that been like?
Yeah, obviously, first and foremost, it's an honor. There's some incredible players in this club's history that have worn that armband, and I want to carry that with a lot of pride. But at the same time, it takes a lot of big performances, and I think, yeah, there's been some good ones, there's been some bad ones, but really we got to find a way to be consistent all season. And for me individually, it's just about going out there and showing by leading by example. Really, I don't want to speak too much about what guys should do or shouldn't do. I think I need to display it by myself first, by my actions, and really try to get us back on track to making the playoffs. That's where we want to be, and that's where I want to be, most definitely.
With this, it seemed like at the beginning of training that I got to see, vibes seemed to be pretty good. How do you balance that? I mean, like we were talking about moving on from last week into a new week. What's sort of the balance of like having accountability and like talking through what went wrong versus just moving on and clearing the slate? Like, how do you navigate that?
Yeah, first and foremost, I think you want to take accountability as individuals. Where you think you've done wrong, where you think you can make, better decisions, eliminate mistakes, cover for guys. And then as a team, as a collective, we got to talk about how we want to respond in these moments. We're going to get scored on. In the first 5 games, there weren't too many chances. We've done really well as a group. But especially at home, how you want to respond is, really a culture change for us. We have to be a team that's hard to beat all the time. Someone's going to score a free kick or something like this or a set piece goal, and we might have the momentum. But, when we get knocked down, it's how we're going to get back up. So, yeah, truly, I think this week is all about just taking accountability, figure out what we can change, and not trying to, dwell on it. Really having that short-term memory and trying to move past to, a good team on the road. But we've shown to be good on the road as well. So that's really the positive side.
One thing I feel like I've seen from you a lot this year is looking for this kind of like big diagonal switch, trying to change the point of attack. Um, is that something? I mean, it seems like you've been doing it more this year, especially. Is that something that you identified that the coaching staff has talked about? Like, where's that coming from?
Yeah, it's a big point of our attack. I would say it's one of the ways that we want to switch the point of attack, and that the coaching staff has really integrated into our team. We work on a lot in training, and it's something that he wants to see every game. So yeah, it just hopefully threatens the opponent to respect it and gives us more space to play within. Sometimes it comes off, sometimes it doesn't. But even in a moment that maybe you overhit a ball or something like that, it becomes a moment that we can go higher up the field to press, to create another chance, to at least stretch them. And I think that's the goal of that ball, and similar to a direct ball to the striker. We've worked on that a lot more, and it's something that he wants to see. He wants to be front-footed, and yeah, it's a dangerous ball if you can capitalize on it.
Thanks.
Now we'll take some from Zoom, Samantha.
Amani, you can go first.
Good afternoon. You've played every single minute this season with 61 defensive contributions, blows, and 25 recoveries. Yet DC has conceded 8 goals in 6 games. What does the back line need to do better collectively?
Yeah, well, leading up to last game, it was only 4 and 5 games. So, trying to eliminate just easy errors, stuff that we can do as a collective. Obviously, 2 set piece goals in the last game, so something we have to tighten up. But other than that, just not conceding 4 goals at home in front of our home fans that sell out a stadium. That's the first and foremost decision.
And thank you, Lucas, for your time. As the captain of the team, what has been what's been your message to the rest of the team as far as results like these not happening again?
Yeah, we spoke after the game in the locker room as a team about how unacceptable that was, especially the last 15 minutes. I think the coach spoke about that in his press conference. We saw the stadium like that. We bring fans in. We have new energy in the culture, in the team, in the city, and it's something that we have to obviously acknowledge, because that's something I think slipped in from last year. That's something that guys became acceptable to give up goals and then be individualistic, not care about the collective. And I think that's where, as a team, we have to keep transitioning that culture. It's not going to happen overnight. We finished last in the league last year. So it's a transition game. It's a game that we have to, really eliminate these big threats, these big challenges, and stay in games. And I think in the first 5 games leading up to that game, we were hard to beat. That's still something I think we stand with, and I think that's something that we have to keep doing. So, yeah, that's really the message, and taking accountability, obviously.
And just as a quick follow-up, what are the key threats that you've identified from New England as a group?
They have one of the best players in the league, Carlos Hill. So this guy can, create when nothing's going on for them. He can play make. He can transition when he wants to. They have pace around him. They've scored 6 goals in a game at home. They've scored 4 or 3 last game. So they can do it in a lot of different ways. And it's going to be important that we as a team collectively take these players out of the game and try to really impact in our way we want to build out.
Thank you.
Donald, we'll go to you next.
Thank you, Samantha. Hey, Lucas. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you.
Following up on a lot of the questions about being a captain, I asked Renee this. I'll ask you this. How do you feel the response has been from the players in practice this week? When you have a game like that, obviously it's easy to kind of dwell on it, but what do you guys have done to kind of move forward as we move along?
Well, I mean, as I said after the game, we spoke about it instantly. We addressed it. There was clips brought up in the video board directly after the game, and that's probably the first time in my career I've seen that. And I think that's important. I think it's fresh. I think it's, when the pressure's hot, I think is when you can really make decisions and make people, discuss things. And I think that's what we did. I think guys addressed it. We took accountability, and we said it's not acceptable, especially against our, a team like Dallas, and especially in front of our home fans. It's not acceptable. So the plan is to really try to earn that trust back. And, it starts with good energy. And I think the coach is all about that. He didn't feel the energy before the game, and he was correct. We didn't perform at the level that we were capable of, and I think this week's been a lot better. As you stated, it was good energy today in training, and I think we got to keep that up tomorrow, and we travel to New England and get 3 points on the road.
And my last question is, as a captain, right, you have a lot of different responsibilities. A lot of it includes speaking up, leadership things with the referee. Those are things you're already doing here with or without the armband. So how do you feel your responsibility or roles have kind of changed with the armband on your shoulder?
Yeah, it wasn't something that I asked for, something that I wanted in terms of above anybody else. It's just something I want to display in front of my own teammates. These guys I try to treat like family, people that I love to be around, people that I try to be affectionate with and really show that I'm compassionate, emotional. I want to see this club succeed. I want to be in the playoffs. I've been there before, and when I came to DC United, that's all I've wanted. So this is the biggest turning point we have to make right now. You know, how we react, how we respond is exactly where we're going to be this year. This is how we have to take these tough times and really take it on the shoulder, take it on the chin, stand up and go again. And that's what we have to do this weekend. So other than that, just displaying exactly how I'm trying to be. And, you know, mistakes will happen. Me too. I've made them this season. And I've taken accountability, and I've said we're going to be better, and I'll try to display it every single game.
Thanks, Lucas. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Donald.
Dave, we'll end with you.
And Lucas, isn't that life in MLS? You're not allowed to relax. 1 week you can score 6 goals and win like New England. The next week you could lose 3-1. Can you just describe how hard it is in MLS with such a fine margin?
Yeah, it's a league that obviously is very well spent in the attacking third. A lot of international players, a lot of players that have, you know, great resumes, the guys that have done a lot of successful things, that play in their national teams. And obviously because of that, the threats are always there every single game. You know, you have a striker we play this weekend that plays for the Israeli national team with Ty. We have Carlos Hill. We have guys that played in La Liga. Like, these are top players that have played at the top of the level in the world. So yeah, it's the MLS, and every single week you have to be on it, or else you get punished. And it takes a collective. It doesn't just take individuals. As a team, we got to be, you know, hard to beat, sound defensively, organized, and I think we're getting there. It's going to be we're not there yet. We've definitely not arrived, and I think it's going to be something that we'll continue to build on.
Communication is always a part of defense, but especially with a player like Carlos Hill, is it even more so given that he can get lost and all of a sudden you're in trouble?
Yeah, he's got that special something. You know, you can't really explain it. You watch him, you watch guys like Messi, you watch these guys, they just have another sense. And because of that, we have to get him off the ball. You know, he's gonna do his thing, but under pressure, somebody that we got to stay on top of all the time. We can't give him time and space, but you know, you're going to come against this player multiple times in a season. So how we deal with it, how we've done it in the past, we've gone there and got results before, so we've done it at home. Yeah, it's going to be a tough challenge. They score well at home, but that's a great challenge for us to take on.
Good luck.
Thanks so much, Dave.